he left lecturing and went to banking. And he went to Liberty Merchant Bank. Started with Liberty Merchant. Liberty Merchant Bank used to be owned by Aliko Dangote. And he spent a few years there, and he now went to Zenith Bank. So he became the head of the audit unit of Zenith Bank. So he was the head of all the Zenith units of audit unit of the entire Zenith Bank all over the country. So he was actually doing well in banking, but as he was his status was increasing in the banking industry, so his understanding Islam was also increasing. And at that time, we had started our Deen Digest. So, of course, and based on the Dawah Salafiyah, and so there was no way you would not come across, texts talking to you about what you are doing. Exactly. You are in the banking industry, and you're also in the Dawah of Salafiyah. That seemed to be a contradiction. So it got to a point that he couldn't take it anymore, that constantly, because I know that each time we write, there's a particular edition that we did in Deen Digest, which is called a riba. So everything that was written was as if it was written against him. But he will still write it exactly the way Islam said. So we still write it exactly the way it said. So there was no compromise with regard to the truth of Islam. In spite of the fact that he was guilty of some of those things, still, even when he was invited to come and talk in the public, he would still speak against riba, even though some people say, but you are there. I say, yes, I know I'm not supposed to be there. So, but eventually he took a decision to leave. So he left banking and he resumed fully to Deen communication. There's one thing that I remember very well, and it has never left my mind. And this is a lesson in sincerity, a lesson in, knowing that and putting your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he was in the banking industry, he was among the top. So he could actually afford all the life comforts that he wanted at the time. I remember that I went to visit him. We had a discussion on some of the things that we needed to do. So I went to visit him in his office in VI at that time. So it was time for us to, I think it was time for a break. He said, okay, he told me, why don't you go and eat? Then we'll come back and continue our discussion. I said, fine. So we went to one of the restaurants around. So, of course, as a Al-Majri, as a poor person, so we went to, one of those posh places to eat. And it is a buffet like, so you eat whatever, you eat whatever you want, then they give you the bill. So when they gave us the bill, I said, I didn't know that. I will have asked you to give me the money so that. So eventually, so that was the kind of bill that, just as a regular meal. That's just regular. So you can understand, what he could afford at the time.
Kind of life that
was. Then he came to resume. On the first day that he resumed, and was time to eat lunch, he sent them to go and buy, and those are ewa going, and fried plantain, and it was not up to 200 naira. And I compared what he would do. This is not the kind of food that he would, but he was prepared to make the sacrifice. So you could see the total break. Said, this is my reality now. So there was the kind of person it was that kind of person. So he did a clean break, and he didn't mind. So this is the kind of thing that people will worry about. People who are making money in haram sources, the change in lifestyle is what scares them.
That's why they're still there.
That's why they're still there. So, but when he took that decision, he took it boldly. So he was a very strong person. So that never left my mind. So I still remember that for him.